guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're a returning subscriber, I thank you all for pushing play and spending a little bit of time with your girl today. Today we are getting ready per usual. We are doing a transition. I haven't done one. I probably feels like in a couple of weeks, maybe even longer. So I'm going to do a transition. I'm going to do nothing dramatic. I pulled out an oldie but goodie. This here is the City Mini palette. It was a collaboration between Makeup Shayla and Maybelline. I absolutely loved this mini palette and I haven't used it in a while. But if you're someone who's not really into a lot of makeup, but you just want to find you a palette where you can just do I don't want to say a basic look, but just do your everyday go-to look without no muss or fuss, I would recommend finding you a palette that has all the colors you like. And for me, I like this palette. It's minimalist, it's simple, it's not overbearing. You have your black, which if sometimes you could do a smoky eye and add a pop of a highlighter in the corners and go. You could do a smoky brown if you're more into the browns. And then it has like a wine color. You have two different golds for a highlighter. You can even put some on the eyelid for a color. So this could be a basic go-to travel palette. So whether it's this or something else that's simple, find you a go-to palette that does the job of everything. So I'm going to be using this. And as you can see, you see the pan. Now that's not black. That is the pan there, but it's still some around the edges. But I always go in with a cream black and for my base, and then I add some black on the top just so my black is a little more intense, especially when I'm doing my transition videos. Okay. As far as my foundation, I always go, I don't have bad skin. I don't feel like I need a heavy foundation. I do have like this mark that when I burnt myself a long time ago, but I feel like this Fenty blurring eavesdrop blurring tint does the job. And I've showed y'all before, I really love this. And y'all already know when you find something that you like, you really have to get you some, because baby, let me tell you, when they decide to stop making it, they just stop making it, and then you're left trying to find you something else. So I have these on a subscription. So yeah, so this is what I'm going to be using always in the shade 22. As far as my concealer on top, when I am shaping my eyebrows after I've, did them how I want, I always go in with some concealer on the bottom and on the top. Now on the top, sometimes I just use something kind of close to my skin. This time I'm going to be using the lip bar. This one is in the shade Mocha. And then for under the eye, for highlighter, I'm going to be using the Born This Way in Chai. And I like this. And then to set it, I'm going to go in with Laura Mercier Medium Deep. Okay. Now always, because y'all know I have that deep inset, I always use for a base the Fenty Coffee, just to kind of help, I feel like fills it in a little bit before I go in with my concealer. But yeah, and then only thing I'm going to do is either use my Juvia's Place to contour with, and then I'm going to go in my Juvia's Place, the Saharan Blush Volume 1 for my blush. Okay, that's it. So eyeshadow palette, my contour palette, and my blush palette. That's the only thing I have out. And then my foundation, my two different concealers, and my setting powders. Now, as far as the lashes, I am going to do lashes, but I am going to be trying this Colossal Bubble Maybelline by Maybelline lash. This is in the Black is Black mascara. I'm going to put it on. I always put mascara on before I put on my lashes, but you could definitely stop. So if you're not a lash girl, find you a good mascara and go with it. Okay. But for me, because I'm doing a transition, I'm going to add on my just everyday, this is by Broadway, I believe, or Broadman. I'm not for sure. It'll be in the description box. But I just go to my local beauty supply, and I have Lily lashes, but I usually save them for a special occasion or going out. But when I'm doing transitions and I'm putting lashes on and off and all that, you get a lot. I think you get probably, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, like 8 lashes. So I get these and they're only like $1 and something or $2 and something. So this is what I use for lashes. I'm going to go with a dramatic lash. And as far as the lip, I haven't decided on the lip. I don't know if I'm going to do a red lip or a black lip. This is the wig. I figure the last one I did was black. So I pulled out my cherry cherry red wig. So we're going to add a little color this time. And of course, per usual, everything will be linked in the description box below. Okay. So yeah, this is the cherry wig. So I don't know if I'm going to do a red lip or a black lip for this transition. So we'll just see where we go. So, and yeah, that is pretty much it. I'm not going to do too much because I don't want to really keep y'all long. And I say that all the time, and yet it ends up being a long video. So I probably won't be too detailed as other than the eyeshadow. Everything else, I'll just let you watch me put it on, because if you've been watching me, then you already know pretty much what the steps and everything. Okay. So we're going to get ready to get started. I'm going to go ahead and probably do my brows off camera because it takes me, I don't know why it takes me so long. You would think I'd have it down packed, but it takes me a while to do my brows. So I'm going to go ahead and just get my brows done and get the concealer and all that stuff on. And then we're just going to get started with the eyeshadow. Okay. All right, guys, so we are back. We have the brows done. We have the concealer on. And like I said, I went over top with the lip bar in the shade Mocha to carve them out at the top. And then underneath, I went in with my Juvia's Place number 11 under the bottom. Okay, so those are the two concealers that I used. Just to shape the brows out a little bit more. And then I went ahead and added the wig just to kill some time. All right. And then I just kind of took one of my little wedges, and just because, you know, as you let the concealer sit, it will start to crease. So I've done that. And then I'm just going to go in with a little bit of powder. Let me see. And you can go in with any powder that you want, light powder, just to set the concealer. So I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place concealer. Powder. This is the shade 608. Y'all know I don't have my contacts on. I don't have my contacts on. So I'm going in with the Juvia's Place I Am Magic setting powder in the shade Gobi. So that's what I'm going to use to set the concealer on my eyelid. Okay, so, and I'm just a little bit, I'm just going to tap it on. Okay, and I know, like most of the makeup gurus, they use their brushes. You know, like I said, I'm not a makeup artist. I'm just a girl who likes to play in makeup, and so I use what I feel works for me. So I will use a brush sometimes, but 9 times out of 10 I'm going to use my wedges or my beauty blender to do whatever it is I need to do. That's just how I am. All right, so I used a little bit of that to set the concealer. Okay. And I like to go in with my transition shade first. So, like I said, we're going with this mini palette. So I'm going to go in with the brown here. So let me find me a good little brush. Okay. So I'm going to go in. This is the tapered blending brush here. I'm going to go in with this. All right. And you just want to get you some on there. I got my mirror over here so I can see. My magnified mirror. All right. And I'm just going to go in. I'm going to tap it in. That's what I like to do first. Tap it in. Now I'm not going up on the brow bone. I'm staying down here on the lid. All right. That's kind of where I'm staying. And once I get it in, and I'm trying to work both eyes because I don't want to keep y'all, you know, no hour or two. You know, I want to show you that you can do this. And once you perfect your everyday look, it won't take you that long. You know, if you're wearing it every day or you're wearing it just, you know, when you go out, it won't take you that long. You know, practice makes perfect. Practice will also help you with the timing to get it on so you're not taking forever and your significant other or whomever is not sitting there, you know, looking at the time because y'all got a reservation or something, you know. So I'm just going to go do the wishy-washy method, windshield wiper, you know, the swirly method, get it all on that lower lid. I kind of like to go up in my brow just a little bit, not over here by the wing, but up here where the, what is it? This part up here, the fatter part of the brow. I kind of like to go up in my brow a little bit. That kind of gets rid of some of that concealer, and you don't see that. So I like to go up in there, not too heavy, you know, just light. But that's kind of like my transition right there, okay? So once you got it in, you just, you know, until you are happy with it, you just put it on, tap it in. I like to tap mine in and then go back and forth and then also do swirlies, okay? Until I have it how I want it, okay? Now, I'm going to go in with my black cream, okay? Right, kind of like on the corners, okay? So I need one of my pencil. Y'all, I tell you, I don't know why I always forget to put my contacts on, because I know I cannot see without them. Really a tapered, just a tapered brush, because I just want to go in. You want to get it out. And I just want to put it mainly on the ends here, because I want to give my black something to hold on to, okay? And I just want to put it on the outer corners of the eye, okay? Just the outer corners. Okay. I gotta get me another one of those palettes for sure. Because like I said, if you're the type that's minimalist, you know, or you just want to, you know, try the makeup, you know, and just see how you do. And all I'm doing is going in the black and I'm just stamping it over top of that is what I'm doing. Okay. And then I'm going to take the brush without adding any more. After I stamp it on there, I'm just going to go lightly. And if you hold your brush at the end, you won't be so heavy when you're doing this. And I'm just going to stay within the socket and just kind of go back and forth with the black, whatever I have on the brush, okay? Whatever I have on the brush. And we're staying in the socket. And if you open your eye a little bit, you'll see that I'm in the socket, okay? Okay. So just light, like I said, not too heavy, okay? Then I'm going to just, again, take the powder black eyeshadow and I'm just stamping on the top of that cream. That's all I'm doing. And then again, I'm going to go into the socket with what's on my brush, okay? Back and forth in the socket, okay? Because you tend to be able to have a little bit more control when you hold your brush at the end versus if you're up here, sometimes you kind of get a little heavy-handed. But if you just hold it at the end, you'll have a little lighter touch. Now, that's my opinion. So if you're a makeup artist and it's something different, this seems to work for me. I'm not here to argue with you guys because you are the professional. This is just what I find works for me. I feel like I have more control over my color placement when I hold my brush on the end versus when I hold it in the middle of the brush. Okay. And then what I want to do is just kind of blow this out just a little bit. Just blow it out. Okay. To the ends. You see what I'm doing? I'm just blowing it out. Not going up high past my socket. I'm just blowing out that black. Okay. Just blowing it out. And I want to come over here. Same thing. Blow it out. If you feel like you need a little bit more payoff, go back in, tap over that, and then blow it out. Okay. Because we're going to clean all of this up, and you can do whether you do an angle look, a round look, however. Okay, so we're going to fix all that. Okay. And again, back in my socket, because I feel like I want a little bit more black payoff in there. Blow it out a little bit more. But just see how I feel like I have more intense black when I go in with the cream. Now, if you're a little lighter than me and don't have as much melanin in your skin like me, then you may not need to use the cream base. But for me, I like it to be a little bit more deeper for me. So I like to go in with the cream base. Okay. So doing that. All right, so now what I'm going to do is try to find me another brush similar to that. Sigma brushes and all that. Then just get you some inexpensive brushes until you do want to make that investment. So I'm just going in with this pretty burgundy or wine color here on my brush. And what I want to do is go right above the black, but not too high up, because I don't want to hit my brow bone and I don't want to lose my transition shape, but I do want to, what is that? Go right above, something on my brush, y'all. Okay. Right above that black, ever so lightly, just to give me a little bit more color. Okay, just a little bit. Right in there. Not too much. Might not even be that noticeable. I mean, it is, but and you don't have to. Okay, but you want to take the color, and I'm right here in my socket, and I'm just going right really over that, kind of just lose a little bit of that edge of that black. That's really what I'm doing. All right, and then come out just a little bit, okay? So there's a hint still of the brown. Now we've got a little bit of that wine that we blended into both the brown and the black, okay? And we're just doing it, like I said, if you hold it to the end, I feel like you have more control. And we're just blending around that black edge. Still see the black, still see the brown, but now we've just added a little bit more color, right? Okay, all right. We're doing pretty good now, doing pretty good. Now we want to add to our eyelid. I just want to add some, so we got two golds. So I'm going to do the darker gold here, okay? And I want to put that right up in here on the lid. Okay, so we're going to go with a flat brush. I want to go with a flat brush because I want to just pat it in and have some control. As you can see, it's just flat. And like I said, I'm going to go in with this one here. And I still got some in there. It's holding on. All right. And I'm going to tap it in. Okay, I'm going to tap it in. And then swipe. Okay. I'm going to tap it in. Okay. And then swipe. And then you can kind of make you like an oval shape. Like that. I don't want to lose all the little black that's right up in there. So I don't want to go too high up. Okay. That's why I said pat it in. Then you swipe. Okay. Because we're going to go back in with that black to marry these two together. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Go back in that gold a little bit more. We're going to come over here. We're going to tap. Then we're going to swipe. Okay, and it's like half a circle. Okay, go in there and get a little bit more. Tap it in and then swipe. Try not to lose too much of your black. So it's steady, steady. And to get a little bit more control, you see where my hand is? It's not at the end. It's in the middle because I want control of the placement of the gold. Okay, so I'm tapping it in. Because if I was holding it down here, I don't feel like I would have more control. Here, I have a tighter grip and I feel like I have way more control. Now, like I said, now for y'all that's professionals, that's probably not a big deal for y'all. But for us, who ain't professional and we just like to play in makeup, we got to use a little bit more precision when we're doing stuff. Okay. I feel like I have more control. Okay. Let me see how I'm feeling about that. And like I said, I feel like this is something even if you didn't add the wine color, you know, it would be okay. I think this would be even fine, I don't know, for work as well. You know, it's not really that intense, this palette here. Okay, see how that looks? I like that. Now what we're going to do is going to go back to that black fluffy brush where we were blending, and we want to marry these two here, okay? So all you're going to do is on the black side, you're going to just take it and blend it into the gold, okay? That's it. You see what I'm saying? We're just going to marry the two. That's all. Marry the two. That's it. Really simple. See how that blended together nicely? Yeah. Loving, loving, loving. Now, see how when you go with a lighter color to carve out your brows, you don't have to add anything. Now I definitely could go in with a color if I wanted to, but I think the chow color from my concealer is fine, so I'm going to leave it like that. And all I'm going to do now is just clean up lightly up under here on where you're going, what you're doing, and all of that. But that was pretty simple. And like I said, with just a palette, you know, you're not having to have a whole bunch of palettes. Really simple. I've only used so far 5 brushes. 5. And if you don't use the black cream, you only needed 4. So that's it so far for the eyes. Okay, brows are done. Now what I am going to do is go ahead and put my mascara on, because I want my mascara to go ahead and be dry, so by the time I get ready to put my lashes on, it'll, you know, they won't be wet, and you know, I can get them on there without having such a big mess. So I'm just brushing, see if I got any fallout from eyeshadow, just kind of brushing them up. And then I'm just going to go in with the mascara. And like I said, if you don't wear lashes, this will be the final step for the eyes. And then you just go straight into doing your face. Okay. This is the first time I've ever used this mascara. This is how the one looks. Okay. So really, if you just wiggle it up under there, just to kind of give yourself, get all those lashes. And then I just go in. Now, if I was going to just wear this look to work, I would definitely stop here. But because of I'm doing a transition, you know, I'm going to add some lashes. But if I was going to work, I would definitely just stop here. You know, as far as the lashes, I wouldn't add any lashes. I would go straight into my liner and all of that. So I'm just going under, wiggling it, my brush under my lashes, you know, catch any wild ones, and then getting the top. And like I said, if you practice, you can even practice timing yourself, you know, so you don't take forever. You know, really, if I wasn't talking to you guys, I'd say 15 minutes at best after the brows, because the brows, you know, that the brows kind of make the eyes, really. So you got to kind of take your time with your eyebrows now, unless you got those pretty eyebrows. And I've been thinking about getting my eyebrows done. I just been scared. My sis from work, hey Nadra, if you're watching, she got hers done, and I was like, I want to get mine done. And she was like, you should. And I'm like, I'm scared, because what if they don't turn out right? What if they don't look right? And I'm kind of stuck. Well, not stuck, because I guess I could, you know, go in and go over them or something, but I'm scared. I'm scared. But I really would like to do that, because it would save me so much time, I think, in doing my makeup look. So I'm thinking about it, Nadra. I'm still thinking about it. Okay, so I like that. I mean, I think, because I normally use that voluminous mascara. I don't think I have any more. And so I don't know. I kind of like this Colossal. Yeah, I kind of like that. My jumbo mascara, eyeliner, just this right here. And I don't even have where's my pencil sharpener? Yeah, and sharpened it. All right. So I just went in and sharpened it, because you saw how it was at first. I just went in and sharpened it, And I find this a lot easier for me to do, especially, and I'm going to hold it down because I want to get it on my waterline, as close to my waterline as I can. Now, if this is an issue for you, you don't have to do this. You can just definitely put it on the outside, but I want to get it on the waterline. And make sure and use a soft liner, nothing that's going to be scratching your eyeballs, okay? And I like this one. It is very, very soft. The Lip Bar makes one that's really soft as well. All right. So we got that. And then I'm just going to go in. Once I get the eyes, the conceal, all that done, I'm going to go in with my black eyeshadow and just kind of, you know, I don't want to just be like a black liner. I want to take some eyeshadow and go over top of that. But still using the same palette. You know what I'm saying? Still using the palette. Okay. All right. So, like I said, I'm doing the transition as I've talked, you know, different segments of the transition. So now I pretty much almost got the eyes done, and then I'm going to record that part and then come back. So, yeah, this is a whole lot for whatever they say, 10-second reel. But I enjoy it. It is fun. I do like playing in makeup. I know I don't do it all the time because, like I said, I do have a full-time job. I help with my grandbabies. So, you know, and I also have my mom, and then I'm married. So it's a lot. And it really is. So I'm going to drink some water. Trying to stay hard, do good and stay hydrated. Stay hydrated. Oh, that's so good. All right, so got that part done. Now I'm going to add just a little bit of my moisturizer under my eyes, just because I, you know, wiped up under there and stuff. You always still want to do, take care of your skin. Prep your skin when you're doing your makeup. And you always, I mean, there's so many products, you know, stuff in this makeup. So, you know, you want to make sure that you're doing whatever you can to protect your skin. Take care of it. Okay, I don't care. Like, I don't wear makeup, you know, really every day. I really don't wear it, you know. And I think even on days when we have orientation or, you know, a class or something like that, I may just put on some mascara, eyeliner, lipstick, and that's maybe. But if you're going to wear makeup, you need to make sure that you are prepping your skin. So use serums, whatever you use. As long as you a good moisturizer. Right now I'm using my Kiehl's moisturizer, but I also use Pond's. So, you know, whatever works for you, for your skin. All right. And so now I want to go in with a primer. And I think I'm going to use, where is my primer? Okay, so I'm going to go in. This is Stay Matte by Rimmel. So I'm going to go in with this oldie but goodie as well. Something you can get Family Dollar, Dollar Store, Walmart. Again, you don't have to spend a lot of money, especially if this is not something that, you know, you really want to invest a whole lot into. You just want to, you know, start trying to wear makeup, or you wear makeup, but you don't want to invest in some expensive products, you know. And like I said, I have Juvia's Place, I have Fenty, I have the One Size, you know, because this is what I do, you know, I do. But if I was just an everyday girl, hey, Elf products, they're just as good, I find, okay? And you can find them pretty much everywhere. So, you know, do what works for you. You know, you don't have to do what everybody does. So I'm going to take some of my Stay Matte, especially if I was going out and about. And in that T-zone is where I tend to get a little bit oily. So up here, up under the eyes, of course, and then around here is where I would like to put some Stay Matte. And like around here, your smile line. Okay. Now, I'm not going nowhere, but you know, since I am putting the makeup, I just want you to see what I'm talking about. Okay. So I got my primer on. Okay, got that on top of that. All right. I think my eyelashes should be dry. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put these on. And then we're going to come back because, baby, I ain't perfect. I haven't perfected putting on eyelashes. Okay? I have not. So, and I'm going to use a black, the black glue, eyelash glue. Okay? I don't know nobody is doing that, but please don't be using no hair glue on your lashes. Like I mean, I know people do, but I just feel like you shouldn't be doing that. I've seen people doing it, but it's just not something I just wouldn't do that. Get you some lash glue, okay? You know, get something that's meant to go on near your eyes. I mean, because baby, let's not play with our eyes. Let's not do that. Let's. Running fast from the way it was, jump quick, paycheck, running back to the strip club. I'm never going back, never going back. No, you can't make me. Never going back, never going back. They never take me. I've been enough of petty dudes. I've been enough of shit. All right, y'all. So we are back. I got the lashes on. As you can see, they are very, very dramatic. But again, like I said, if it was something where I was just going out on dinner date or I just want to be cute with the girls or something like that, or even if I was going to work, I could add my Lily lashes. See how simple those are? I really do like these, and these are self-adhesive. And then these here, I also got at my beauty supply. These here are Envy. And they're just a little simple curl. And even if I still want to go with my inexpensive lashes, these here would be even more simple than the dramatic ones. So see, there are different options. Or like I said, you could just do the mascara and call it a day. Okay. So, but you know, because I do dramatic, I went with these here dramatic lashes. Okay. So now we're just going to go in with my normal routine, which means I'm going to go in like I always do with my coffee and under my eyes. Okay. And I'm just going to take my wedge. I like these. They are so inexpensive. I just put some in my top and I'm just going to dab some in. And then I'm just going to go under my eye to fill in some of that hollowness that I tell y'all that I complain so much about. Yeah, a little bit with the powder as well. I want to go to a MAC store and get some of those little pods. I saw a young lady that I follow. Why can't I think of her name? I'll put it on the screen, but I love watching her. So if you love just watching makeup transitions or just want to really learn other than from just Makeup Shayla, Jackie Aina, you know, some of the other ones, she is so, I feel like, underrated, not talked enough. And I know probably a lot of it's because she doesn't live here in the States. So she probably doesn't get the recognition that she should, but she is absolutely stunning and absolutely amazing when it comes to that makeup. So, and I've learned a lot of things from her, just watching her. So I'm going to definitely tag her below so you can definitely go and subscribe to her channel and check her out. Because I mean, she really needs to get more recognition than what she does. And her name was just there on the tip of my tongue. It was just there. So yeah, so I'm going to go in with this here. And this little thing I started doing, I definitely saw Jackie Aina do it. I'm not saying she is the creator or the originator. This is just who I saw doing it. That's original by Milani. I got a little bit in there. Let's see if I can set with this. Got that dry. Yeah, I heard you. Come on in. I already told the people that you be yelling when I be recording. Yeah, I see. What, so you finna go get in them streets?
No, I'm finna go down here, give me a sandwich, and then I'm gonna go down to Chubb's for a minute. Just for a minute.
Getting in them streets, it's the same thing. Yeah. Go and get a sandwich from where?
Jason Deli. I'm hungry. That links didn't do it for me. You want something? I'll bring something back.
Not from no Jason Deli.
What you want?
I'd rather have Taco Bell, some Taco Supremes. You asked? Didn't you just ask me what I wanted? All right. Anyway, so I've set that. So now I'm going to go in. So now I'm going to go in with my concealer now that I've done that part. I'm going to go in with the Born This Way. Born This Way with the chai. All right. Okay. So I'm just going to do that and let that dry down, and then we're going to come back. But I'm going to go ahead and film the next part of the reel. So let me do that, okay? I'm going to move y'all. Over there. Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. Hello, it's me. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and start blending this out. Because one thing about this Born This Way, baby, it will dry down pretty fast. So I like to go ahead and blend. I don't let it sit too long. And then I just go ahead and start blending it out, okay? This is in the shade 22. And I'm just going to put some on the back of my hand. And not even a whole lot, because I found that I don't even really use a lot. I don't. So I'm going to just take my sponge, tap it in there, and just put some up here, around there. Okay. And then I'm going to go back into the video and show me doing that part. So bear with me, y'all. Bear with me. All right. So let me go ahead and finish blending out my foundation. And we want to blend up to where the concealer is, okay? Not too much, but you want to blend it in. We want to marry everything together, okay? Get up under there. And I usually try to get as close to my brows as I can to go over top of that concealer that I use to carve out my brows. So not too much, but yeah. You make sure, especially if you're using a lighter foundation or something, you're going to have to blend into that neck, okay? Because we don't need that neck and chest, because you should be matching your foundation to your chest anyway. But if you're not, you want to make sure you're blending that foundation on down. All right. So now I want to go in and contour. And I think I'm just going to go in with my Juvia's Place. So to chisel with my nose, I'm going to go in with this lighter color here. And I'm just going to come from under, look here, by my brow straight down, okay? Under and come straight down. That's all. Now, you don't have to be all dramatic. Just come straight down and carve out the nose. That's it. That's all. Okay? With the contour. And I'm going to go in with, I don't have a whole lot, but I'm going to go in with that. Okay, so I'm going to just wiggle that around there. And I do the little, right here. Once I stamp it, I go up. So you're going right in here. And then I just brush it up to contour. That's it. That's it. That's all. And I, okay. So here. Now, you do find people that contour all up under here. I'm not doing all that, especially not for no video. And then I just usually go around here a little bit. And I'll probably do some more once I take this off. But yeah. And then, yeah. And so for the blush, I'm going to go in with my Juvia's Place. And I think I'm going to do, let's see. Yeah, I think I'm going to go, do I want to do that one though? Yeah, I think I'm going to do this one since the hair is a cherry red. Let's see. I don't know. Yeah, I think that's the one to go with. I know the liquid blush is a lot more popular. You know, nothing wrong with that. I have not attempted to use a liquid as of yet. So no. So I'm gonna go ahead and take this off so I can, because I hate when it has a demarcation. I'm probably gonna have to fix some of that a little bit and then fix it up a little bit more. And yeah, and then probably change my top part so I can go ahead and spray the face because I want it all to melt. And I'm probably gonna melt everything in with the I'm probably gonna, I got a little bit left in there. Let's see if we can get something out of there. Let's see if we can get the rest of that setting spray out of there. All right. So I'm gonna go ahead and change my top and stuff, get this off my head, and then we're gonna come back. Okay. All right. So this is dried down. This is like highlighting. If you don't want to highlight, you don't have to highlight, but I like to highlight my forehead, down the bridge of my nose, and on my chin, and right above my lip area. Oh, I should have waited to take this hair down, but I was trying to decide if I want to do the flip over method for this transition, and I think I do. Seems a little more sexy, huh? But I'm just taking this little bitty beauty blender and I'm just blending it out. And then you're going to go back in with that same sponge, not adding any more product to the foundation sponge. And then we just want to merge everything. Like I said, blend everything. So you want to hit those edges. Okay. And I usually just go over on top real lightly, but you want to hit those edges. Okay. Just blend it. Now what I want to do is take my setting powder. My same setting powder that I use to go under my eye, and I'm going to take my little wedge here and set those. That's it. Okay, let's put some on there, around there. Okay, all right, get up under the eye to set everything. And I don't bake, okay? I don't bake. Even if I was going out, I wouldn't bake. I mean, so even for the video, I'm not baking or anything like that. But even if I was going out somewhere, I don't bake. I actually tap it in really good to set the setting powder, set this concealer, okay, under the eye, okay. Okay, and then, like I said, you're just going to take your sponge and go around, okay? Go around, go around, go around. So I'm going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury, the airbrush, which I should have done before I took my thing off, but it's okay. So I'm going to go in and spray, hopefully. Once I've done that, okay. And then, like I said, you can still go in with that same palette. And you can use a little brush or whatever to give yourself a little highlight. And I'm going to go in with the lighter color. And I'm just going to hit in the corner to give myself a little highlight in the corner, you know, and probably hit the nose, just a little circle motion, and then take your finger so you're not looking like Rudolph, and just kind of rub it in, just so it'll be just a little. And then some people put just a little bit like up here. Okay, it might be hard. And maybe take my finger. I'm probably curls in, and I'm gonna come back with a finished look. Okay. All right, guys, so we are back. This is the final look. So hopefully you've seen the reel. If not, definitely go check it out. I did part ups and then another part with it down, but for the most part, this is it. And like I said, this palette here, the City Mini palette, the collaboration with Maybelline and Makeup Shayla. If you are a minimalist or someone just starting out with makeup, or someone who you like makeup, but you just don't want a whole bunch of makeup, find you a palette that works. I definitely like this because it does give you the black, it gives you a brown, it gives you a pop of color, and it gives you 2 highlighting shades and then a neutral shade at the top. So I feel like this is definitely a good simple palette. But you know, if this is not the colors for you, then find you something that'll work, that will help you, because I definitely feel like this look minus the brows and minus the lashes is something that you could go in and do in at least 15 minutes and be done with the eyes. And you can still keep it simple. Throw on some mascara, throw on a little liner, and throw on some lips. And like I said, as far as the foundation, everybody's different. Like me, I just like the tinted, the eavesdrop tinted moisturizer, kind of what it is. And I like it. It's enough coverage for me. Even for every day. And so you have to find what works for you. Okay. That may be the largest investment, your foundation and your concealer. But as far as your eyeshadow palette, it doesn't have to break the bank. Your brushes, unless you want to go out and buy Sigma brushes, some good quality brushes, you can definitely find you some inexpensive brushes. Again, that will not break the bank. And I will have all that linked below in my Amazon storefront. So keep it simple. Practice, practice, practice. And like I said, you should be able to complete your look. The more you practice, you should be able to get your makeup done 15 to 30 minutes, depending on what all you are doing. Okay. But yeah, so like I said, the wig, my makeup, whatever I use, I will link everything down below. But I definitely want you to leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my everyday eyeshadow. Okay, but like I said, minus the lashes and all the other stuff, the hair and all that, it is definitely a simple eyeshadow look that you can do, anybody can do, and you don't have to have a lot of experience. Okay, but I wanted to remind you guys that my hubby and I did start our travel channel. I have only posted one video. It's our cruise to Cozumel, so definitely go check it out. I will leave it here and also link below, but it is Katie and Cammy's Adventures. Like I said, this is us on our journey to retirement in 3 years, and it's going to be everything that we're going to be doing, where we're going to going and how we're doing it on our way to retiring within 3 years or less. Okay, so on this channel still will be hair, makeup, my daily blogging and stuff like that. But as far as any traveling, adventures and stuff like that, it will be on our channel. Okay, so I will definitely leave that in the description below. Please go over there and subscribe. Turn on your notifications so you know when we upload a travel video, so you can just see what all we're doing to prepare ourselves for this thing called retirement. Okay, and our journey, how we're preparing and everything we're doing, okay, over there on that channel. But if you enjoy the wigs, the makeup, I'm not really doing too many trial hauls because part of getting ready for retirement is all about the purging. But if I do any of that, it will be over on this channel here. So if you're not subscribed, consider oh my goodness. If you're not subscribed, consider subscribing to this channel and turning on your notifications so you know when I upload over here on this channel. And please leave me a comment. Let me know what you think about my videos. I really do appreciate it, and I do respond if you comment to me. Because I definitely appreciate you taking out your time of the day to engage, to watch. So the least I could do is comment. Okay, so let me know what you think about the hair, the makeup, all of that good stuff. I really appreciate it, and I hope to see all 1,300 of you over there on the travel channel, because who doesn't like to travel, or who wants to know how you can travel and inexpensively and all the things you can do, okay? But until next time, Kammy loves you, and I will see you on the next one. Mwah! Think we should do something crazy. They say fuck everyone. Just run away from the daily routine. Yeah, you know what I mean. But everybody on mine that I'm thinking, and I really hope you don't mind. I can't fight it. Oh, you know I cannot hide it. I'm so excited that I finally decided. It's been another perfect day with ya. Wanna lay with ya. Life, it's the fine things I like. All my shopping all night with you.